Terraria has 4 major classes: Melee, Ranger, Mage, and Summoner, but which class is actually the most powerful? After the release of 1.4.5, I thought it would be good to rank every class from worst to best, so make sure to subscribe if you enjoy Terraria, and let's get started. Number 4. Mage. Mage is not a horrible class, but at this point it's definitely the worst. The biggest issue with this class is that it has a terrible early game, especially compared to every other class in Terraria. Pretty much your only option for early game Mage is the Wand of Sparking or various other gem staffs. The problem is that the Wand of Sparking is incredibly luck based and most players don't get it in their playthroughs, and then the gem staffs, for the most part, do pretty bad damage. A lot of players will advise that you go all the way to the underworld and farm demons for a demon scythe for early game Mage, but obviously for most players that's completely unviable. With this being the only way to get a great Mage weapon in the early game, while every other class has good early game options, it's pretty obvious why Mage is pretty bad. Even in early hard mode and any other stage of the game, Mage is just okay, and it's never really the best class for its respective stage of the game. A lot of people have also complained about mana as a system being really obsolete in the first place, and while I do kind of agree, I also don't think it's that big of a deal. Mage was very overpowered in Terraria 1.2, but that was basically a decade ago now, and Mage as of right now is pretty bad. Number 3. Summoner. Summoner is the most interesting class in Terraria because it used to be absolutely horrible and non-existent, and now it's actually pretty good. People used to argue whether Mage or Summoner was the worst class in Terraria, but I think with 1.4.5 it's pretty clear that now Summoner is inarguably better. 1.4.5 introduced 9 new whips along with multiple summon exclusive reforges, which makes the class even more powerful than it used to be. Even with the removal of the whip stacking mechanic, Summoner is a much better class right now than it has ever been. Summoner definitely shines in the late game though. With items like the Raven Staff, the Dark Harvest, and the Kaleidoscope, you can get absolutely ridiculous damage on enemies and boss fights with the Summoner class. The only downside to Summoner these days is that its range is very poor, especially in the late game, but I think for most skilled players that doesn't really matter. Overall, the Summoner class is very good, and I hope to see it become even better. Number 2. Ranger. Ranger is the most consistent class in the game by far. It's good in the early game, good in the middle of the game, and good near the end game. There's really no point in Terraria where Ranger isn't good, but really no point where it's the best by far. I think that Ranger is the most boring class in the game as there are only a few fun weapons like the Onyx Blaster or the Flamethrower, but this ranking is not about how fun the class is, it's about how powerful it is. And while the Ranger class may be very boring, it's also very consistent and very good. And at number 1, Melee. Melee is the most overpowered class in Terraria by far. The damage output is absolutely insane throughout most of the game. It also has the most defense and the best armor sets of any class by far, and you can basically become invincible by the end of the game with the right melee build. It also has the most weapon variety, since a lot of subclasses like yo-yos or spears also count as melee weapons. On top of that, a lot of melee weapons received buffs in 1.4.5 for whatever reason. The melee class is insane, it's all pros, no cons, and that's basically all there is to say. And there you have it, that's my ranking of every class in Terraria 1.4.5. Alright, bye-bye.